I'm not understanding why you would even do that. And then I forget that I live in a wicked world. What in the Pretty Little Liars connecting the dots is this?
Because it's the juice. And if you don't have the juice, you don't have it. So if you don't have the juice, you can't capitalize.
Fill the room with the juice. That's a lot of loot. That bit fire. Yeah, she kinda.
Welcome back to the channel. We are back on the floor. I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I don't know what's going on. If you are brand new here and you have no idea how you stumbled on this video, I'm just gonna let you know right now, you may be in the wrong place, okay? This is not gonna be one of those videos where the person goes through like all the actors and it was directed by this person and it came out on this date. No, 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 and no. If you haven't seen this series, go ahead and click out of this video right now, because I'm not doing any of that, and I am literally going to be thoroughly going through so many different parts within this series because it was insane. I mean, it was just it's worthy of a video. It's worthy of a video. I did make a TikTok on it, and I had a couple people that were like, I think actually not even a couple people. I think one person said, oh, okay, I'll restart it and like we'll see if it's good or something like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm right there with you. I did watch like the first episode and I think the second episode, and then I just like chilled, and then I was like, oh, I gotta remember to go back and watch it. And I just went ahead and restarted the entire thing because I realized very quickly that this was one of those shows that you have to pay attention a lot. Basically, you have to be paying attention because you're not going to understand a lot of things. It's also one of those shows where you're like trying to connect like so many different like points to what's going on, to that, to this, to this, to that. So any freaking ways, I'm going to go through the top things that I learned from this series, and not necessarily learn, but things that people can learn from this series. Listen, the peaks. Oh, the peaks had me screaming. I was screaming at the television. I will be sporadically putting my reaction to this show throughout this video. So, like, I'm getting very frustrated. It's not even suspense. Like, you know, thriller, suspense. Like, this is just frustrating. You killed him. Killed who? What in the Pretty Little Liars connecting the dots is this? Let's really get in this. First thing, number one, anyone will learn watching this series is, oh my God, just tell the damn truth. Just tell the truth. I'm not even understanding. Just tell the truth. There were so many points where I am like episode after episode, and I'm like, if you don't just tell the truth, like if you don't just tell the damn truth. But I get it. Like some people don't like telling the truth, or it like gets them in trouble, and it becomes like this bigger thing and all of this other stuff. But like before we even get any closer, tell me whose side you're on. Okay. Down below right now, pause the video, go to the comment section. Tell me, are you team Gina or are you team Lenny? Because right now at this moment, I'm team Gina, but I also don't know if that's right. I don't know what's right? After you watch it, you're like, wow, whatever I thought in the beginning is completely wrong. Because the way I was praising Charlie in the beginning, you guys... the pure embarrassment. I literally just wanted to throw a shoe at the TV. Like, I'll put in a clip. Charlie knows he's having sex with both of them. But of course he does. Of course he does. This man is a psychiatrist. Of course he knows.
Our marriage. Us. You. Love me?
I am literally shook.
Or did you just do?
That man. Genetically identical, but they have a different scent. Yo, what is up with men and like knowing your scent? Like they like it like turns them on when they like know the scent, like the scent. Like I don't know, but it's also like you can't really buy it. It's like I feel like everybody has like their own like scent of like how their house smells. You know what I mean? What their family house smells like. But my God, y'all, Charlie really said, when I'm having sex, and then when I'm having sex with oh! And that's how he's able to be so calm. I've been wondering, how is this man so calm? He's just like, all right, Gina, like, I can't.
Well, one.
I'm actually glad though, because that's more evidence. You see that? It's more evidence. Like they've been switching spots. Like,
Gina, you seem calm.
Right. Always notice when someone seems calm, right? I'm like, damn, you seem a little calm over there. You okay? You good? But you guys, the second I found out that I read Charlie all wrong, I broke a little bit because I really liked his character. And I was trying to figure out, like, is he an angel or is he a demon? Is he a villain or is he a light worker? Like, what are we doing here? You know, like, what are you? Because at the end of the day, I feel like there are a lot of people that are in places that are for the good, right? Whether that's like therapist, nurse, whatever. But there's also like a sense of power that you get from being that, right? Because let's be honest, if he didn't help Gina, fix Gina, all of that, I don't think he would have been effing Gina. I don't think that would have happened. So I think that's interesting. Also, I've actually dated a therapist before. Luckily, it wasn't my therapist, but regardless, I remember him like saying stuff like about his clients. I mean, it was very like sporadic and like brief. It wasn't like I knew who they were or like their full, their whole name. But like, I was literally talking about a session I had with my therapist on Instagram today, and I don't know if anyone else has noticed it because it just stood out to me today, and I think it's because I got done watching The Devil in Ohio last night, which I will definitely do a video on that too as well. But I noticed that the word rapist is in the word therapist, and I was like, I don't know if that's because of The Devil in Ohio or is that because of Echoes and I'm thinking of Charlie. I felt like everything would have been fine if they both came together and just told the truth, like from the beginning. You know what I mean? But it's like they just kept going. They just kept going with it to the point where it was just like, what, who is feeding this? I think Alini was feeding. I'm sorry. That's what I think. Actually, that leads us to number 2. So postpartum depression is so freaking real, and I've never had a child, so one, I'm already depressed, so I can imagine like having a child and then being depressed after that. I just like, what, an extra depression? Like I can't imagine it, right? But the way it really showed how depressed that woman really was. By the end of the day, they didn't allow each other to be individual people, and that's how they got into this mess. But I'm not gonna lie, when Gina lost that baby, I said, oh no, what? Like, even though she was, with a freaking low life, like, but, she still loved him, whatever. But I don't know, that kind of hurt me. I was like, yeah, she ain't gonna come back from that one. She ain't gonna come back from that one at all, whatso freaking ever. But then you have, what's her name, that came up with the whole idea. So she was sick of being, I don't know, a mom, right? She was going through her postpartum depression. And then she's just like, you know what? Let's switch places. Like, why not? Like, how about you do one year and I do another year? That entire scene, I just thought in my head, like, okay, why not therapy? Why not 6 months? Like, why does it gotta be a full year? Like, that's what had me like, wait a minute, what? Because the thing is how are you both literally, and I really actually want to know. So if you have sisters, if you have a twin, whatever, like, how are you both? How are you both okay with like sleeping with the same man? I'm actually very curious on that. I'm very, very curious on that. And I didn't think they were gonna do a threesome type action in it, but I was thinking in my head, like, what's the difference? I obviously I know what the difference is, but it's still like, you're literally having sex with your sister's husband. I'm trying to understand where you thought, regardless of our deal, our plan, this is wrong. Like, how did that not transpire? Like, I don't understand. I don't get how that didn't transpire. But then I thought about it. I think it was the episode where they actually went into like what it was like when they were growing up. And I was like, oh, they've been sharing boys since the beginning. Like, they've been liking the same guy since the beginning. And honestly, that is it kind of makes sense why Gina was like, all right, I don't want this bad boy over here. You know what I mean? Like, because she wanted to have something that was completely different from her sister. And it's like, her sister just wasn't like, bro, Lenny, tell me whose side y'all on. Because I feel like season 2, if there is a season 2, by God, there better be. Okay, I think Lenny, she's gonna be the victim. Like, we're gonna find something out that makes it make more sense. I just don't know what, you know what I mean? Because the way that woman was so cold when her father died. Something I will never understand. Something I will never understand. I was like, why is she that cold? Why is she automatically going into like making sure that like they're both safe? Like it actually blew my mind because I was thinking, wait, there has to be something more to Lenny. I don't know what it is, but by golly, if season 2 comes out and I'm right about that, I hope to God, because the second I saw the way she looked at the dad and then she got back up, she thought a little bit, then she was just like, oh my gosh, like, and then they let him burn in that house. They literally let him burn in that house, and Gina was the only person that was trying to save. Gina was the only person that was trying to like, do stuff. So it was just like, oh my God, how terrible is like Lenny was just, I don't know. But at the same time, I'm like, ugh. This is the thing that I really noticed before we get to number 3 is Lenny is like short-term manipulation, impulsive manipulation. Like, what do I do now? What do I do now? Okay, I need to do this. I need to do like that. Where Gina is more strategic. She's more long-term manipulation, where she's seeing this like from like a timeline. And I think that's obviously like where her like writing skills and all of that stuff comes from, because that's how I feel like she played the game throughout everything. And let me just tell you, if Gina is alive, which honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Normally at the end of shows, I'd be like, yeah, no, of course I know what happened. But no, I really don't. I don't know. And I even asked someone today that saw it. I was like, who do you think that was in Charlie's house at the end of the show? Like, do you think that was Gina, or do you think that was Lenny? And like, she was just quiet, and I was just like, right? Because how could you couldn't really determine that. You don't really know, because that person had like a blonde wig on. And then on top of that, it's not like we're watching Mary-Kate and Ashley. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely can tell apart Mary-Kate and Ashley easy. But we're talking about a TV show where it's one actress, and they're obviously implementing and doing transitions and all that stuff to make sure that like it looks like 2 different people. But in reality, it's the same actress. So it's just like, it makes it even more of like a mind, like a total mind, just all the way mind. It's too much. Anyways, number 3 is to never trust anyone, ever. And I almost put never trust a man, but we're trying to keep it gender neutral over here. So just never trust anyone. Never trust anyone. Because the way I felt bamboozled, like I felt like someone cheated on me. I felt like someone cheated on me when I found out that Charlie was literally writing about the differences between Lena and Gina and hiding it in that safe. Like, the way that I actually felt like someone lied to me. Like, I was like, excuse me? Charlie, I have been loyal to you for 6 episodes. Like, I don't even know how long. I have just been loyal for hours. And you're telling me that you could tell the difference, like, through their scent and, like, the way, and I get it. I totally get it. I'm sure it's completely different having sex with 2 twins. Like, I don't think they would sexually be the same unless they have practiced having sex together with someone else to make sure it's the same, which I don't think that's happened. So yeah, it makes sense for him to pick that up. But at the same time, it's like, sir, why didn't you say anything? Like, you could have stopped so much and you didn't. And like, that makes me think, don't trust anybody. I don't care if it's your husband. I don't care if it's your kids. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, you really shouldn't be just trusting every single person. It takes time and building blocks to really trust people, because that really messed me up, y'all. Like, I was actually so upset. I was like, Charlie, how dare you? I just feel like he should have said something, at least after like a year or 2, at least. But he didn't, and it was making me think, like, how are y'all not thinking of Maddie? How are y'all not thinking of this child? Like, that's what really had me shook. Like, I was like, wow, y'all are really just not gonna care about this child that has no idea, like, are you my mommy? No, I'm not, And it's like, no, you actually are, but you're saying no. Like, you're lying to a child. It's so sick. It's so sick to me. It's like, if someone called me and told me this story about like 2 twins we went to high school with or something, I would be disgusted. I would be like, yo, you are foul. Because how can you not, I don't know. I don't know. At the end of the day, I get it. A lot of people don't like telling the truth, but that's just not how I am. Like, I've literally gotten in trouble for telling the truth, meaning there are things that have happened in my life where I could have went by and not gotten in trouble, but I said something about it because I literally, like, it was eating me up alive. Like, I was just like, dang, I gotta say something. I gotta say something. I gotta say something. Number 4, like seriously, what happens as a child is not actually accurate. I mean, meaning what you see and think as a child may not even be exactly what it is throughout your whole life. So your whole life you're thinking is this, is this, is this, is this. And that's just your narrative that you're telling yourself like over and over and over again. But in reality, it's not that. And that's what the heck was proven when Gina and wait, was it Gina that told Lenny? It was Gina that told Lenny. Because Lenny was the one that saw that her dad killed her mom, right? So Gina was like, no, that was her wish. That's what she wanted. Okay. And Lenny was sitting up there looking stupid, looking like, oh my God, no, I saw it. Okay, you saw it as a little girl. Like you probably couldn't even comprehend what was going on anyway. You literally don't even have like the brain plasticity to even understand, to even connect those dots like that. You know what I mean? So it made me realize that like anything that even happens as a child, kind of have to rework that as an adult. And if you don't, like you're just always gonna believe a narrative that you don't even know is real or not, because that's what you thought as real and concrete as a child, right? Because as a child, you're like, okay, this is the sky is blue, okay, this is my mom, okay, this is my dad, you know what I mean? And it's like, that might not even be your dad, that might not even be your mom, you probably were adopted at, you know, who knows if you were adopted, they might tell you at 18, right? But you're telling yourself a different narrative. You're just like, like it's actually really freaking scary, because look at what that turned her to. Just the premise of thinking of that, look at what it turned her to. I mean, the manipulation that came out of Lenny had me scared. Like, I don't remember where it took a turn. I think it was when Gina was telling her side of the story. When Gina was telling her side of the story, when I tell you my jaw was dropped, I was like, so Lenny really just been up here on some hoe stuff. Like, and the way I had to keep reminding myself, wait, who's Lenny? Who's Gina? Who's Gina? Who's Lenny? Like throughout the entire, it's so crazy. Like, that's why I was telling someone in my comment section on TikTok, like, you have to pay attention. This is not the kind of show that you're not paying attention, because they're the same person. I mean, at a creative point, right? They're the same person. They're not actually twins. So when you actually see twins, you're like, okay, that one looks a little bit different from that one. Sometimes they look absolutely identical, but that's very rare. It's a huge rarity. So it's like when you're seeing that on the screen, and obviously you're in like your, you know, consumer mode of like, oh my God, this show is insane. Like it's like this is basically real. You know what I mean? Like when you really fall into a show, you can't just be like, okay, I'm watching this now, I'm watching that now, or this is that and that's that, because they can just switch up their hair and then before you know it, there's like something else that's happening. But if you don't know what's going on, like within the stitching, then you're gonna be like, wait, is that Gina? Or then you just get lost and then it becomes like a show you don't care about. You know what I mean? So if you haven't watched it and you've made it this far, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you're ruining the show for yourself. You are literally just dumb at this point, because only people who have seen it should be watching this right now, because it's just too good. There's too many damn spoilers in this right now. One of the peaks that really had me shook, and I mean like shook, was when Gina lost that baby. I ain't even gonna lie, that had me shook. And you know what? I think what it was that bothered me the most is that before she knew if she lost her baby, she lit that truck on fire. Is that not the love of your life? Do you not sit with with his grandmother? Like, do you not think like, oh, he probably should have like a actual funeral where we can see his face? Like, you didn't even give him that much. You just burnt the whole truck. So you didn't even want to like pull him out and put him somewhere. Like, that had me messed up. Like, I was like, Gina, what are you doing? And I get it. It's like, oh, we got to burn evidence. But like, this is what I mean by like having a moral stance. At some freaking point, you have to stop yourself and be like, okay, like, yes, I need to do this, but like, I love this person. There's no way I'm gonna just light them on fire and they're just gonna crisp and I'm never gonna be able to see their face again ever. Ever? What? And like, girl, y'all are both traumatized. Like, that's when I realized y'all are both freaking traumatized, because you found out about the miscarriage or losing your baby after that happened. So it just had me like, what kind of show is this? Humans, we're such interesting creatures. Like, we're so interesting. Like, I don't even think people, you and me included, put as much emphasis as we can. It's just like, yo, we are so interesting as just mammals upon this earth, because girl. And then on top of that, yes, it's sad that she lost that baby. It's super sad, it is. But girl, what about your family? What about the family you already had? Like Maddie, Jack, like that like girl, so you just forgot about them? So you was really gonna just like leave them, have a baby with him, and start a whole new life? So you was really just gonna do that like that was not a problem. And that right there is how I know y'all been doing that too long. Y'all been switching places and having double lives way too long to be thinking that that's actually something that you should do. And to put that much pressure on the other sister to fill that role. I mean, maybe not as a mother, but you look just like her mother. Like, I don't understand how are you not understand? Yo, the way the moral compasses in this show are so backwards. So backwards. Like, I was just like, I'm not understanding why you would even do that. And then I forget that I live in a wicked world. I hate that. I be waking up sometimes, I be thinking people just think like me. And it's like, no, we live in a wicked world. We live in a world where people are not necessarily trying to be at their moral best. They're not necessarily trying to be the best person they can be. You know what I mean? Like, people fall in like deeper and more messed up times in their lives where they're just like, you know what? Yeah, I don't care about anybody and I'm just ready to die, you know, and I'm just ready to just, you know, I just want to hurt everybody because I'm hurt. So I'm just about to hurt that person and hurt that person. Like, and I get it, but it's like, why would you want to build all that karma? I fully just don't understand. But anyways, y'all, this was such a good show. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I'm gonna be absolutely honest because I did see it at like the top 3 on Netflix. Like, I think, I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago, whatever. And then I saw it at like number 8, number 9 top series on Netflix, and I was like, okay, it must not be that good. Maybe I should watch The Devil in Ohio first. And I was like, you know what? Nah, let's watch Echoes first. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm really glad I did that. So if you haven't seen Devil in Ohio, watch Echoes first, then watch Devil in Ohio. If you've already seen both, then you have caught up with me, and the next video will definitely be about The Devil in Ohio. Obviously, I have more content coming, but I just really wanted to throw out some Netflix content because I used to do them so long ago. Oh my God, so long ago. I actually miss making that kind of content, and I just kind of wanted to switch things up. So besides the point, I am going to go to dinner. I have absolutely no reason to have this makeup on right now. I was making TikToks. Putting out the coupe in the lot, 12 for a squat, busting all the bells out the box, hit the leaf with the